This is not the season anyone imagined for the Indiana Fever. 5 players gone. A superstar sidelined. A roster held together by grit, tape, and sheer willpower. And yet, when the smoke cleared in Washington, the Fever weren't broken. They were reborn. Their 94-65 destruction of the Mystics wasn't just another win. It was a declaration: we are still here. But the real story isn't just about the scoreboard. It's about a mantra that's echoing through the locker room. A message from Aaliyah Boston that has fans buzzing, teammates fired up, and the rest of the league on notice. What exactly did she say? And how is it carrying this team into the playoffs without Caitlin Clark and half their rotation? Stay locked in, because this is more than basketball. This is survival turned into power. Let's rewind. At the start of 2025, Indiana's expectations were sky high. Caitlin Clark was supposed to lead a new era. She was averaging over 16 points, creating plays, filling arenas, and making postseason dreams feel inevitable. Then came the heartbreak. A torn groin after only 13 games. Season over. And Clark wasn't alone. Sophie Cunningham, out. Chloe Beebe, gone. Sydney Colson, sidelined. Ari McDonald, finished. 5 players, 5 crucial roles, erased. Most teams would collapse. Analysts did not hold back. The consensus: Indiana's playoff hopes were done. But instead of breaking, the Fever hardened. Their season became less about stardom, more about survival. And survival is exactly what shaped their new identity. Head coach Stephanie White deserves credit here. Rather than forcing a broken system, she rebuilt one. She simplified rotations. She trusted newcomers. She preached resilience, not excuses. At one point, 18 different players had suited up in a Fever jersey. Imagine taking a team photo in May, only to realize by August, half the faces had changed. And yet, somehow, this patchwork squad kept going. By late summer, something unexpected happened. Resilience became their superpower. The next woman up mindset was no longer just survival. It was their identity. And when Indiana rolled into Washington needing a win to clinch a playoff berth, all that adversity finally paid off. At halftime, the game was tight. The Mystics were scrappy, forcing Indiana into tough shots. The question lingered. Without Clark, without depth, could the Fever really finish? Then the third quarter happened. Washington scored 9 points. 9. The Fever defense didn't just show up, it smothered. Passing lanes vanished, drives collapsed. Momentum shifted like a tidal wave. By the end of the third, Indiana wasn't just ahead. They were dominating. And once the floodgates opened, there was no stopping it. Natasha Howard led the charge with 17 points, punishing Washington inside. Aliyah Boston, another double-double, her 17th of the season, breaking a franchise record. Ariel Powers turned into instant firepower off the bench, dropping 15 with energy that never dipped. Shea Petty, perfect from deep, 3 for 3, adding 13 points. And Lexi Hull, diving on the floor, forcing turnovers, fueling the break. By the final buzzer, 5 different players were in double figures. The Fever had forced 22 turnovers and turned them into 27 points. Washington never had a chance. 94-65, a blowout, a statement, a ticket to the playoffs, punched. But here's the part that turned a big win into a defining moment. After the game, Aaliyah Boston gathered her teammates and shared the words that are now echoing across Fever Nation. Never doubt yourself and what you're capable of. Simple, direct, powerful. That's the heartbeat of this team. Boston isn't just posting numbers. She's becoming the anchor of the franchise. 12 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, a plus 29 plus-minus. On the court, Indiana thrived whenever she played. Off the court, her leadership gave the team belief when most of the basketball world had already counted them out. Even in the locker room celebration, she reminded everyone, enjoy the moment, yes. But remember, the job isn't finished. That balance of joy and discipline is rare, and it's exactly what this young team needed. Now here's the twist no one saw coming. What if all those injuries, the heartbreak, the roster shuffle, were actually the best thing that could have happened to Indiana. Because instead of relying on one superstar, the Fever learned to win collectively. Instead of waiting for Clark to save them, they became a team no one wants to face. For the first time since 2015, the Fever not only have a winning record, they're back in the playoffs. And they're doing it with depth, toughness, and a belief system forged in fire. Make no mistake, the road ahead is brutal. Possible round 1 matchups? Atlanta, Las Vegas, Phoenix. All dangerous. And the best of 3 format means 2 of those games on the road. But here's the thing. This Indiana team has already beaten those very squads this year. And they did it with the same shorthanded roster you see now. So ask yourself, if the Fever can turn heartbreak into a 29-point demolition on the road, what makes you think they can't shock the league in the postseason? From despair to dominance. From doubt to defiance. From a broken roster to a playoff team. The Indiana Fever aren't just surviving, they're sending a message. And if this is what they can do with half a roster, imagine what happens when they're whole again.